Good morning, everyone. It is Monday, June the 8th. Thank you for joining the weekly briefing for Central North Carolina. This will cover the upcoming week from today, June the 8th, through next Sunday, Sunday, June the 14th. And all right, just seeing some chats there that everyone hears as well. So good. Thank you very much for the mic check. We'll get going with the weekly briefing then. We'll start out just real quickly talking about some of the ongoing hazards in Central North Carolina, and really we're still just seeing some minor river flooding on the Roanoke River from basically Roanoke Rapids downstream to Scotland Neck and points further towards the coast. This is still in response to the heavy rain that we saw 1 to 2 weeks ago. But we expect that this minor flooding will start to subside more towards the end of this week and into next week. So just minor flooding going on in the Roanoke River, and otherwise all other rivers around the area are below flood stage. I want to point out here what was Tropical Depression Cristobal. This is going to be the last advisory that the National Hurricane Center issues for Cristobal. This morning it was in northeast Louisiana and tracking north through the Mississippi River Valley up towards the Great Lakes, where it will interact with some other low pressure systems over eastern Canada over the next several days. But again, this is the last advisory for Tropical Depression Cristobal, and no impacts to our area expected from Cristobal. So the upcoming weather pattern for this week, we've got a stalled cold front that's near the North Carolina, South Carolina border, and that's going to linger there and start to slowly weaken and move north back into central North Carolina Tuesday and Wednesday. That's going to be the focus for some widely scattered showers and thunderstorms. Some of those could be a little strong with heavy rain, and in fact, just last evening down in the Laurinburg area, there was a 1.5 to 2 inches of rainfall with a couple of storms down there. Luckily, they were isolated enough not to cause any problems, and we think that that'll be the case as we head through this afternoon, Tuesday, and into Wednesday as that front kind of drifts back to the north. So widely scattered showers and thunderstorms with just very isolated heavy rain possible with those. Then we get a cold front that approaches from the west late Wednesday and into Thursday, and that will cross the area on Thursday. Could see a few strong storms with that system, but we're not expecting widespread severe weather at this time. That'll move across the area on Thursday and then likely stall along the coastal areas Friday and into the weekend. And then we'll be followed by another cold front over the weekend, although there's a lot of uncertainty with the next cold front as to how much unsettled weather there will be with that. Some of the models are showing quite a bit of showers and potentially storms with that, while some of the other models are a bit drier with that system. So we'll be keeping an eye out on that one, but nonetheless, we should see another cold front over the weekend. And so that'll take our temperatures, which will be, around normal or slightly above normal in the upper 80s to lower 90s early this week, and push those back down to probably below normal as we head into the weekend, being more into the lower 80s. Rainfall over the next 7 days, as I mentioned, we'll see scattered showers and storms along the front. You can see that there in the top left, showing across the southern Piedmont, western Piedmont, and the foothills of North Carolina. We'll see some of that activity each day start to spread back to the northeast into central North Carolina, and most of those storms, will produce up to maybe 3/4 of an inch or an inch of rainfall. Some could produce heavier amounts. And then we get the cold front on Wednesday that moves across the area, probably scattered to numerous showers and storms with that system. It'll stall somewhere along the coastal areas, and we'll see renewed development probably each afternoon with that. And then again, another cold front over the weekend, which could give us some additional showers and thunderstorms. So in the total of 7 days, you'll see anywhere from a 1/2 inch to potentially 1.5 inches possible across the area. Luckily with this, I think this is going to be spread out over several days, and so we're not anticipating flooding like we've seen in recent weeks. Your severe weather outlook running from Monday to Thursday across the top and Friday to Monday of next week across the bottom. You can see that we're just expecting some general thunderstorms over western North Carolina over the next couple of days. And then you notice Wednesday, a marginal risk starting to creep into western North Carolina. It's possible that on Thursday we could see that marginal risk across central North Carolina. But again, the forcing for the system isn't very strong, and we think it'll mostly just come in the form of showers and isolated thunderstorms. And then finally, the 8 to 14 day outlook shows some of the below normal temperatures across the mid-Atlantic, the eastern U.S., and that's associated with that second cold front that I was mentioning moving in for the weekend, and below normal or better chances of below normal rainfall across much of the southern U.S., and really extending up even into the Great Lakes. So a large chunk of the U.S. expected to see, again, better chances of below normal rainfall over the next 8 to 14 days. So a quick summary, I mentioned the frontal zone near the South Carolina border lingering today through Wednesday, giving us some focus for some afternoon showers and storms. We get a cold front late Wednesday into Thursday, and then that'll stall along the coast and be followed by another cold front over the weekend. Some unsettled weather possible with that one. Again, a bit of uncertainty in terms of how much. And we'll see temperatures moving from a near or slightly above normal to below normal, and that was reflected in the 8 to 14 day outlooks. Minor flooding along the Roanoke River expected to improve hopefully by next week. And then, again, those strong thunderstorms possible, but the overall probability of hazardous weather is low. So I thank you for joining the weekly briefing for Central North Carolina.